So SightLife Surgical was created as a for-profit subsidiary of SightLife, the nonprofit eye bank, to generate the resources necessary to bring advances and innovation to corneal surgery and therapeutics. We launched SightLife Surgical with an initial $10 million Series A investment from Flying L Partners. Flying L Partners is led by Bill Link, Dick Lindstrom, and Andy Cordley. Three of the best minds in the ophthalmology business world have bonded together to help us create an organization that truly can innovate at the speed of need. The strategy is to remain focused on the cornea ecosystem and really drive growth, bring new products to the cornea space and services that surgeons can use to better treat their patients. In this process, SightLife Surgical will move beyond being focused on just cornea transplantation and be all about the cornea and creating better resources in the cornea space. So why did we make this change? SightLife, the nonprofit eye bank, was doing quite well, and you can see from 2010 to 2016, we had incredible growth in our impact, going from providing around 5,000 corneas for transplant a year to being responsible for over 30,000 transplants worldwide. But the reality is we analyzed that amazing growth was that it still was not enough. When you have a world where there's 10 million cornea blind with a supply of 150,000, more has to happen. And in fact, what we realized, we were on a trajectory to eliminate corneal blindness in about 250 years. That's not acceptable. And so we had to make the necessary changes to allow us to bend that trajectory down to a much more reasonable time frame, something more like 25 years. And that's where the creation of SightLife Surgical has allowed us to build a framework that we can truly accelerate our mission to eliminate corneal blindness by 2040. Our mission-driven structure maintains the nonprofit status of SightLife in that partnership as the parent organization and majority equity holder of SightLife Surgical. And it adds a for-profit engine that can power and accelerate the mission to eliminate corneal blindness by 2040. And you can see from the curve here what we really have to achieve, going from 30,000 corneas available from our work a year to over 1 million corneas available. Well, who is SightLife Surgical? And a lot of confusion exists when you create a new entity and you do groundbreaking things. But SightLife Surgical, we are innovators in corneal care. This is a space that we are deeply passionate about, and we see the needs and we want to meet them. We provide surgeons with corneal tissue they need, when they need it, where they need it. SightLife Surgical is about transforming the corneal ecosystem with new products and services for surgeons and their patients. At the same time, we remain committed to SightLife, the nonprofit eye bank, and our other nonprofit eye bank partners to provide families with the opportunity to be a part of the donation process through eye donation. We ultimately believe that everyone who needs a sight-restoring corneal treatment anywhere in the world should have access to the care that they need. And that really is a driver. And so to achieve that, we have 3 core commitments at SightLife Surgical: medical advancement, reimbursement and policy, prevention and treatment. And in medical advancement, we continually want to be innovating to bring the latest and the most advanced therapeutics for treating corneal blindness. Especially in the area of cornea transplantation, we've been relatively stagnant for a long time, and we've not had the benefits of innovation that other areas of ophthalmology and medicine have had. SightLife Surgical wants to change that. One of the impediments to that growth and that innovation is reimbursement and policy. At SightLife Surgical, we are committed to removing systemic barriers that ultimately limit patient access to care and to surgeons' ability to provide the best corneal treatments for their patients. We don't want you as a surgeon having to choose or limit how much OR time you can give to cornea transplantation because you just don't get reimbursed properly. We don't want patients to not have access to necessary cornea transplants just because there's an unfair payment paradigm for facilities to give OR time for cornea transplantation. And so these are areas that we want to aggressively change and make better for surgeons and patients. Prevention and treatment. One of the things that we've come to the realization of is that it is just as critical to significantly increase prevention and early treatment of corneal issues as it is to increase access to cornea transplantation. So attacking that 10 million number from both the top and the bottom via treatment and prevention is how we'll reach our goal of eliminating corneal blindness by 2040.